I decided to go into the Marine Corps in the summer of 2012. And the reason I did it was I kind of didn't know where I wanted to go. I was kind of confused of where I wanted to go in my life, what I wanted to do in general. So I kind of decided, yeah, hey, I'm gonna get some training and I'm gonna see where the Marine Corps could take me and whatever. Um, why the Marine Corps? I think I've really got sucked into that advertisement of be the best. Like don't you don't want to go to a different branch because they're not the best. You want to be the best, and yeah, that kind of really sold me for me. And I was like super gung ho about it, and it was really cool that I was doing it, and eventually I got my contract and I was ready to go, and yeah, so I end up in South Carolina on my way to Paris Island, and I just remember we're on this bus, and they stick you on a bus, and it's the middle of the night, and it's south, and it's in July, and it's super hot and humid outside, and there's like lightning like crossing from cloud to cloud, thunder super loud, and it's like super scenic on my way to boot camp, and I just remember sitting on that bus like, oh fuck, what did I just do? Why did I get on here? And then the minute the drill instructor got on the bus and was like, get everybody out of here! Get off my bus, get off my bus! I remember thinking, being like, yep, I should have joined the Navy. Just I should have joined a different branch. So, yeah, boot camp, Marine Corps boot camp it was pretty hardcore, honestly. It's pretty gnarly. Um, it's the nastiest, most disgusting, funniest place you've ever been to in your entire life. So you get there, and they one of the first things they do is they shave your head, and obviously to take the identity away from people so that you can make a unit, right? And I just remember sitting in line, and these barbers don't really care about you. They're just grabbing you by the hair and whack, whack, and cutting you up, and you're all pissed off because you're losing your hair and everything. Let's see. Marine Corps boot camp was tough. It was tough. You start your days at 4 in the morning. Wake up, grab your rifle, get ready by the numbers, with drill instructors yelling at you all the time, and you're just trying to fly under the radar, hoping to not get noticed, just trying to do everything enough, but not too good. Yeah, so throughout like Marine Corps boot camp during the day, you don't have time to talk to each other. The drill instructors don't let you speak to each other, and if you're speaking at all, you're screaming. And a Marine Corps boot camp is, I don't know if the other branches do this, but it's kind of weird. They make you speak in third person. So you can't refer to I need to go to the bathroom. You have to refer to yourself as this recruit needs to go to the bathroom, or hey, I want this, and you're saying this recruit wants this. So you're always speaking in third person and yelling, and the only time you actually get to like talk to all your homies that you're training with all day and crawling through mud and the sweat and the grime and all that stuff is at night. So as soon as the lights would go out, everybody, kind of like, you can hear all the whispers, talking to each other, and it's really a humbling experience because you meet people from everywhere. You are in boot camp with the cowboy from Wyoming, you're with the redneck from Kentucky, you're with the super ghetto black kid from Chicago, you're with the super, cholo Latino from San Diego, wherever, and you're just in this. You're all put together, but you all of a sudden start to build this like team mentality, this camaraderie. Like you're where you're from doesn't matter anymore, because at the end of the day, you don't. That identity is back at home. That identity's back in Jersey or in Chicago or wherever you're from. Now you're this recruit in this platoon. So you have to watch each other's backs no matter what, and we always used to laugh and say that the most worthless thing on planet Earth is a Marine Corps recruit. So you're all equally worthless. It doesn't matter where you're from. Doesn't matter what creed, race, color. It doesn't matter. You're all the same. And I think that brings in such a good like camaraderie when it comes to you learn you learn to love all different races, and you learn to use their strengths as a team to better themselves. So okay, so you got some kids that are from maybe the south or the west, and they've had guns in their hands their whole life. So when they go to the range, those kids are gonna be killing it. They're gonna be doing that, and then you got some city kids who are super good at sports and basketball, or whatever, and that those guys are going to be the guys in your unit. They're going to be killing their 3 mile runs or whatever. So you kind of use that as a you use their strengths for what they are, and you all of a sudden stop judging people for race and color. You just kind of you see a green marine. The way they used to say it, a light green marine and a dark green marine, but at the end of the day, they're still green. There's no color. The only color you are now is green. So, and then let's see. Oh, some of the tougher parts. I mean, Marine Corps boot camp really it teaches you that you can go further than you think you can. It Jesus, I just remember going through the Crucible, and the Crucible is this 3 day event. I believe it was 3 days. It's like the culmination of all your training, where you basically run operations, with your rifle and doing whatever, and they give you, I think it was one MRE a day, a meal ready to eat a day or whatever. So you have to space it out, and you're hungry and tired. You barely sleep the whole time, and when you think you're done at the end of the day, you kind of learn no, you're not. There's more. You can push harder. You think you've had it bad, but it could be worse. It could be you could be a Marine, and you could be a Marine in World War II, being stuck in a trench, starving, having to fight in the mud. So then all of a sudden you're like, you know what? What I'm doing right now, it's not that bad. It's honestly not that hard. I can keep going. Whatever. I haven't eaten in almost a day. Whatever. That's whatever. Who cares? Let's go. Keep going. My buddies are relying on me. They're waiting on me. They're waiting for me to to bring this ammo can full of whatever to them. This ammo can full of blank rounds. Whatever. They're waiting on me. There's I can't give up. I got to keep going. My team's waiting for me. So, yeah, it's Marine Corps boot camp. All right. So, fast forward to Fleet Marine Corps. So I ended up doing my training, and I ended up becoming an airframe structural mechanic on 53s, on helicopters. And I got stationed in North Carolina, in Jacksonville, and my unit, which was awesome. I love my unit. I'll always, I think I built some of the best friendships I'll ever have in my life at that place. I think that once, when you the camaraderie that you build, I think definitely not in the Marine Corps, just in the military in general, it's just unbelievable. You're there with those guys grinding every day for 12 hours a day, sometimes more, longer, and you're traveling together, and you're watching each other's backs, and you build this team camaraderie that's just nothing I've ever at least seen anywhere else. I've never seen that kind of camaraderie on a college campus or anything like that. You're always watching out for each other. I remember one time we were fixing a helicopter, and we had the aircraft up on jacks, and we were, I don't remember what we were doing. I think we were cycling the landing gear or whatever. So we had this huge, imagine this ginormous helicopter up in the air, and I got underneath there to work the jacks. There was 3 jacks on there, and we were releasing it to bring the helicopter down. And as we were doing that, one of the jacks fucking exploded. It literally just flew up, and there was hydraulic fluid inside of there, and it was red. And I just remember getting sprayed by it and seeing everything, and I'm thinking, this happens and the helicopter falls, and I'm thinking, oh my god, that's one of my homies' blood. That's, one of my friends just got crushed by a helicopter. Oh my god, and luckily one of my buddies grabbed me. My buddy Michael grabbed me and pulled me out of there. I was, literally it happened instantly, and he was watching my back so much that instantly, the jack exploded. He grabs me, pulls me out of there, and I just remember being like, "Holy fuck, I almost died!" Like, but my Marine Corps buddy had my back. He was there watching to make sure that I was like not getting hurt or whatever. Luckily, in that scenario, nobody got hurt. Everybody was okay, you know. But I think that's what unites people in the military, in all jobs, is that you're just always, whether you're a mechanic, making sure that your buddy doesn't lose their hand or get crushed, or whether you're crew chief flying a helicopter is making, sure that you're doing the right thing, so that a helicopter doesn't crash. I think you build a camaraderie based on that, that relationship of I got your back. So after I did 5 years in the Marine Corps, and I was getting ready to get out and everything, and of course I had my I was like, oh God, I'm ready to go back to school. I'm so ready for this to be done and over with, and I was obviously really really excited that I was getting out of the military and I was gonna get to use my GI Bill, right? So I got out of the military, and I didn't really know how much I would miss my friends. Like maybe not military bureaucracy, or maybe not like the job per se, but just the people you meet. You really miss them a lot. They're your homies. You go through so much together. And one of my, so I was already out of the service. When one of my Marine Corps buddies passed away. He it was an off-duty incident, and he was killed in a very unfortunate manner. Which I think it hit not only just me, just everybody who knew him, all his buddies, because we were all in the same unit together, and we always worked hard and grinded hard, and then of course we always hung out and played hard. Everybody's a team. So when our friend Eddie died, that really hit us. That really hit us hard, and and it hit me hard already because I was out of the service, and I could see that all my guys, guys that were and in my unit and everything, we're really we're really in a bad place because it happened. And so Eddie was from LA, and he passed away in North Carolina. So one of the biggest problems was that a lot of our friends couldn't make it to his funeral. A lot of our friends couldn't actually make it to his burial, and I think that's when a little bit of magic started happening. Me and another friend realized that it sucked that people couldn't make it to the funeral. And what could we do? We couldn't bring a friend back, but what we could do was we can pull our resources up and start getting guys to the funeral. Just raising money, and so we started a GoFundMe account. And we really only had about a week to get money down to basically fly down 10 people, and I got out my camera and I recorded some stuff, and we made a GoFundMe thing, and in about 3 or 4 days we were able to raise like $4,500, $5,000. Nothing, it wasn't an extravagant amount or anything like that, but it was enough. It was what we needed, and we ended up all buying. Well, actually, me and my buddy ended up buying a bunch of our guys that wanted to go to the funeral their tickets, their plane tickets. We said, hey, if we get you out here and we get a hotel room and you can crash on the ground, would you want to come pay your respects? And obviously everybody couldn't, the camaraderie is so big that nobody could, they would have slept on the ground if they had to go send their buddy off the right way. They wouldn't have cared. If I would have, if I would have told them, hey, we're sleeping on rocks, they would have came. And I think that's like says to the testament, man, like how much even when it's over, even when the military is over, how much of those bonds that you build, like they just continue. They're not over. So fortunately, we were able to bring a lot of friends to his funeral, and really pay our respects to the family and everything, and my personal buddies were actually the I don't even remember, I don't really know the term for it, but the taking chance guys, the guys that took his body and flew it to LAX. And I was actually there on the tarmac when they, unloaded his body and handed it to his, handed the flag to his mother and everything. And, I just, I could see their face and I could see that they were hurting, but we were hurting together. And I think that helped us through a lot, was, not to go through it alone, to remember that like other vets got your back, or other military dudes got your back, I think that really you know, just it's just it shows you. It shows you that, people do give a shit, The people do, they are gonna have your back when stuff like that happens. Because when you go into the military, you know that you already rationalize that some of your friends are gonna die. That's just point blank. You rationalize that. That's what you're there. You didn't sign up to work at Target. You signed up for the military. You got to do a dangerous job. You know that. Some of your friends are gonna go to war and they're gonna get killed. As some of mine did. You know that some of your friends are going to die in training accidents. Some of them are going to die in helicopter crashes. And that really obviously hits you, and you know that. But when it's like an off-duty incident or something like that, like somebody, I had another one of my friends that was, unfortunately inebriated while driving and passed away. And that stuff, you didn't really rationalize that. You weren't really expecting that. And I think that hits you just as hard. And obviously, the 22 veterans a day, that kill themselves, that's another thing, that makes transitioning out hard. There's, some of your friends, come back, from the military, and maybe they don't have a place to go or to sleep or whatever, and this, that's the truth. Some veterans do kill themselves. It's just, it's sad and it sucks, and it makes you mad. But that's just, and it hurts you because you built all that camaraderie through those years. You always had each other's back. And now, when you see your friends passing away from things like that, it's like, oh, no, not again, not again, not again. But one thing that definitely has helped, I think, my transition to become like a good, successful transition, because obviously there's always going to be hardships, right? Everybody goes through hard shit, right? I think it was the GI Bill, honestly. The GI Bill helped me out an unbelievable amount. Just being able to pay for school, to further my learning, my education, that honestly was like just a lifesaver. If I didn't have the GI Bill, I don't know how I would have transitioned out. I encourage any military veteran that, hasn't used a GI Bill to get on it. Get your education. Get smarter. Continue to progress. Obviously, it's okay to miss your buddies. It's okay to miss the military, but it's not okay to be to let that take over your life. To let that to let those memories or bring you down. Again, going with like the 22 veterans a day thing. I'm so honestly, being a Marine was one of the it's one of the single proudest things I've ever done in my entire life. I would never take that, I will never take that. That, being a Marine, nobody will ever be able to take that away from me. Nobody will ever take that away from, nobody's going to take away, marching the crucible and getting that eagle glue and anchor. And, whenever shit gets hard, I always, that's the shit that's the stuff that keeps me going, I just remember that, like, hey, today might be hard, but I was a Marine. I've had it harder. Let's go. We got stuff to do. Quit your crying. Quit your, whining. Got stuff to do. Let's go. Come on. So, I don't know. It's awesome. Those 5 years really changed my life for the better, I think. I think that I don't want to say the military as a whole, but the Marine Corps was what I in my life needed and wanted. And for me it was a positive experience, and it was, obviously there's negative things to everything. There's always downsides to everything. Obviously you work a lot. There's a lot of times where you're gonna get treated like shit, because it's part of the game, man. You gotta play the game. It's part of it. But overall, that's some of those things that I've learned, like the leadership traits, being able to lead people, and I wouldn't have learned that anywhere else. The stuff that the Marine Corps taught me, I wouldn't have. There's no way. There's some of that stuff can't be taught. It has to be experienced for you to learn, and that carries me. That still carries me today.